One, two, three.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I am back with another video, and this time we're going to be doing a full set of coffin nails. So the first thing that I'm doing is just pushing back the cuticles. As always, this is just going to help expose the new growth and also help with reducing lifting. And of course, I am going to be leaving all of the information down below to all of the materials that you need to be able to do a full set. Now I'm going in with my Melody Susie Scarlet Nail Drill, and I'm using my 180 sanding bands, and I do have a promo code for the Melody Susie products, so I'll be sure to leave that down below as well. But remember that when you're removing the shine from the natural nail, we're literally just going in there to remove the shine. We don't want to thin the nail down or anything, literally just getting rid of that shiny layer. And I'll also use that same drill bit to just trim down the nails, or just to file down some of that length on the nails. That way it just saves me time from, having to go in and trim them down with a nail clipper and then filing them down with a hand file. I kind of just do all three of that in one. So again, we're just removing the shine. We're going to go ahead and do that on both hands. After this, we're going to go ahead and dust the nails off, and then we can go ahead and start applying the nail tips. Alrighty, so now I'm just going in and applying the nail tips. So these are the McCart nail tips, and these are actually press-ons, but I've been using them as like tips. And as you can see, I just used the KDS glue, apply that on the nail tip, and just place that right on the edge of the nail. But even though they're press-ons, you still have to make sure that they fit from sidewall to sidewall, making sure that it's not too big or too small. If one's a little bit too big, just file it down on the sides to make it fit perfectly. And the reason why I've been using these nail tips is just because they're already that coffin shape. So it kind of helps with not having to do so much filing. Especially since my hands had been hurting really bad lately. So it kind of just relieves some of that pain from my hands. I'm not having to do so much, filing. So it is the lazy way out. But you got to remember to work smarter and not harder. So we're going to go ahead and apply the nail tips on both hands. Again, these are the McCart nail tips. We're using the KDS glue, making sure they fit from sidewall to sidewall. Also making sure that we hold our fingers super straight. That way we don't apply the nail tips on crooked. Alrighty, so now we're going to go in and just reshape the nails. Of course, we're going to leave them that coffin shape, but we just have to make sure we go in there and perfect the shape, especially the free edge. And also, I like to go in and just blend the nail tip right in the middle. But just like any other time, when we're doing coffin nails, we follow the sides and the free edge at a 90-degree angle. Again, this is just to go in and perfect the shape. A lot of the time, the tip of the nails come rounded, so we just have to go in and make sure that it's super straight. This is a 100 nail file, and these are on my website, which I'll be sure to leave the link down below. Alrighty, so after I finished reshaping the nails, I went ahead and dusted the nails off, and then I'm going in with my Young Nail Protein Bond. I'm applying that on the natural nail only. Remember that you don't want to get it on the skin because if they have any little cuts, it will burn them. So again, we're applying the primer, and then after this, we're going to go ahead and apply the acrylic. For my paper towels that I use to wipe my brush on, I use the Viva paper towels. You can find them anywhere. For my acrylic, I'm using the Mia Secret Pink acrylic, which is really translucent. I also use the monomer, which is also by Mia Secret, and I usually buy it from Nail Supply Glamour or Mia Secret, which I'll be sure to leave the link down below. And then I'm using one of the pink acrylic acrylic powders from Amazon as well. And then the brush is by Alpha Brush in a number 10, and the cover color that I'm going to be using is in the color Cover Beige, and that's going to be the color for the ombre. Again, so the acrylics I use are usually from Nail Supply Glamour or Mia Secret, which is the brush nail supplies. I do have a promo code for both of them, and then the colored acrylics that I am using, which is this pink one, I actually got the set from Amazon, so I'll be sure to leave the link down below to that as well. But as you can see, the first thing that I did was just apply a really thin layer of the Mia Secret pink underneath. That way, next time that she comes, you know, we can just follow away the colored acrylic and she'll still have that pink underneath. Or really it kind of looks clear. And then after that, we went ahead and did the pink on the tip, and then we're going back in with the Mia Secret Cover Beige at the back to create that ombre look. And then after this, we are going to come back in and encapsulate this with the Mia Secret Pink, or of course you can use a clear, you know, just whatever you want to use, but I use the Mia Secret Pink because it's super translucent. The reason why you want to go in and encapsulate this is just because whenever you come back to file, you don't want to file away any of the colored acrylic because it will look patchy. Again, I'm using my Alpha brush in a number 10. I'll be sure to leave the link down below to that as well. Alrighty, so we're done with that ring finger. So now for the next finger, we're going to do basically the same thing as far as applying the Mia Secret Pink underneath. Again, that's just so next time when she comes in, if she wants to get something different, we can just file away the colored acrylic and then we'll still have the clear underneath. That way we don't have to do a new set next time she comes. But for this nail, we're going to do just a full nail of pink. So as you can see, I applied my bead right in the middle, brushed it down towards the tip, making sure that I wipe the sides off, and then I just go back in and apply a little bit more acrylic wherever it's needed. But remember that whenever you're brushing this acrylic, you want to be really gentle. You don't want to brush down too hard because you will brush away the product. And of course, making sure that we clean around the cuticle area really good. We don't want any products on the skin, so make sure that you clean around that nail as soon as you see any product getting on the skin, because if not, once it dry up, it's going to be almost impossible to take off. Once we apply the colored acrylic, we're going to go in with the Mia Secret Pink and encapsulate this one as well. Alrighty, so for the thumb, we're going to do the same thing that we did on the ring finger. So same thing, we just applied the bead of the Mia Secret Pink. We brush it on the entire nail, and then we're going to go in with the pink, placing that on the tip. We're going to go back in with the Mia Secret Cover Beige, doing that at the back to create that ombre look, and then we're going to come back in and encapsulate this with the Mia Secret Pink. Alrighty, so up next we're going to go ahead and do the pinky, and same thing, just doing the small bead of the Mia Secret pink. And then for this one we're going to use our holographic sequins, which just look like this. So what I do is I just dip my brush into the liquid and into the powder, pick up a tiny bead of acrylic, and then I just dip that little bead into the glitter and just place it on the nail. So make sure that whenever you're working with glitter, you don't brush the nail super hard, because you will brush that glitter off the nail. So just kind of do more of a patting motion instead of, you know, brushing down. As you can see, I kind of just pat the glitter on and just apply, you know, wherever you want, whether it's the tip, whether it's, you know, the entire nail. But for this one we're going to do an ombre. So as you can see, I applied the glitter at the tip, and then I'm going in with that same Mia Secret Cover Beige, and we're applying that closer to the back. Remember that when you're doing the ombre, you want to make sure that you don't brush that product all the way down towards the tip, because if not, it will take away from your ombre. So you want to just brush it right in the middle. After this, we're going to go ahead and encapsulate this as well with the Mia Secret pink, and that way whenever we come back to file, we won't file away any of that glitter. Alrighty, so the last one for this hand will be the index finger. So for this one, we're going to do the same thing, doing a small bead of the Mia Secret pink over the entire nail. After that, we're going to go in with the holographic sequins glitter, and we're going to apply that on the entire nail. And then once we have a full coverage, we're going to go ahead and encapsulate this with the Mia Secret pink. Alrighty, y'all, so we're done with the first hand, so moving on to the next one. So for this hand, we're going to do the exact same thing that we just did on the other hand. So same thing, the ombre on the ring finger and the thumb, a solid color on the middle finger, the glitter on the pinky and the index finger. Also, just want to take the time out to remind you guys that when you're working with colored acrylic, or really just acrylic in general, you want to make sure that you're cleaning your brush off a lot on the paper towel, because if any of that product gets stuck in your brush, it's going to be really hard for you to have a smooth application, because once you have acrylic on your brush, it's going to keep getting stuck and keep getting stuck, and it's just going to continue to build into your brush. So make sure that you wipe your brush off a lot. Also, the type of paper towels that you use is really important. You want to make sure that you use something that's going to actually absorb the liquid and not just sit on top of the paper towel, because once you clean your paper or your brush off on a paper towel, it's going to keep getting stuck. So we're going to go ahead and finish this one. Again, this one is just the solid pink, and then we're going to go ahead and encapsulate it with the Mia Secret pink. Alrighty, y'all, so we finished applying the acrylic. So now we're going to go ahead and go in and just reshape the nails. As always, we already have that coffin shape that we want, but we just want to go in and make sure that it's like a perfect shape. So same thing, we follow the sides and the free edge at exactly a 90-degree angle. We're going to do that on all of the nails. This is the same 100-100 nail file that I used at the beginning. And again, just following both sides and the free edge at a 90-degree angle. Make sure that when you're holding their finger that you're holding it super straight. That way the nail is like really like a perfect coffin. We're going to go ahead and finish filing this hand, and then we're going to do the same thing on the other one. Alrighty, so now we're going to go ahead and go in with the e-file, and I'm using an extra fine drill bit by Pana, and I'll get these on Amazon. So as always, I start around the cuticle area, going from the right side over to the left side, just going back and forth until you're able to see where the cuticle is, where the natural nail is, and where the acrylic is. That way you know that the acrylic is not on the skin. And then I also like to just file underneath the nail in case any acrylic got under there. We just file it away, but make sure that you focus around that cuticle area first, because if you don't seal that cuticle area really good, you will get lifting, because it doesn't really matter if you prep the nail correctly, if you apply the right size tips. If you do not do this step right, you will get lifting. I cannot stress that enough. But remember that when you're doing nails and when you're getting into doing nails, you have to be really patient, because that's not something that you're going to be able to perfect within a couple of days or a couple of weeks. It takes a long time, or I know at least for me, it took a while to be able to prevent lifting. But the key is to just be able to get as close as you can to that cuticle area to file. And again, this is a extra fine drill bit. The reason why I alternate between the fine one and the extra fine is just because I have some clients who are whose skin is a lot more sensitive, so they feel like the fine one is too coarse. So usually I kind of know which clients are which, and I know which drill bit to use, whether I use my fine one or my extra fine one. But both of them are by Pana, and again, you can find those on Amazon, but I'll be sure to leave the link down below. But of course, after we finish focusing around the cuticle area, we also want to make sure that we file the entire nail. That way it's nice and smooth, and also making sure that whenever we're filing that we're keeping our drill moving at all times. You don't want to keep it in one spot for too long, because it's going to cause friction and it's going to cause your client's nail to burn. Alrighty, so now we're just going in with the buffer and we're just buffing the nails really good. And this is just going to get rid of any of the scratches left on the nails from the hand file or the e-file. And I'll also have these on my website soon, so stay tuned for that. But again, we're going to go ahead and buff them out. After this, you can just dust the nails off, wipe them off with an alcohol wipe, or you can have your client go wash their hands, whatever is easiest for you. Alrighty, so I wiped the nails off with an alcohol wipe. So now we're going to go in with the Soleil Nail Adhesive, my wax pencil, my SS6, SS12, as well as some bigger pieces. And we're going to be applying some bling. So the first thing is just going around the cuticle area on this thumb and just applying a few around that cuticle area. I applied a SS12 right in the middle and then a few SS6 right, around it, to just outline that cuticle area. After that, we're going to go ahead and apply some on the pinky as well. So same thing, just do a SS12 and then 2 or 3 SS6 on the sides. And this wax pencil is also on my website. You can sharpen it just like you would any regular pencil, and it lasts you a really long time. As you can see, for that ring finger, we applied one of the Rugby Bling, which is also on my website. And then for this one, I'm using my hard gel, which is on my website as well. And we're going to go in and apply some bigger 3D bling on this one. Make sure that when you use the hard gel that you work pretty fast with it, because you don't want the bling moving around, especially when it's bigger. And I only use this hard gel for my 3D pieces. So once you apply those 3D pieces, you make sure you hurry up and cure that under the light for 60 seconds. So while that cures, we're going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other hand. Alrighty, so we're going to cure that one as well, and then we're going to go in and apply a few more rhinestones around this ring finger. So we're going to just go in and outline the rugby piece with the SS6. Alrighty, so after I finish applying the bling, I'm just spraying the nails with the Mia Secret Gel Resin Activator, which is going to help that glue dry a lot faster. Since it is a gel resin, it's a little bit thicker, so it takes a little bit longer to dry, but with that activator, it just instantly dries that glue. And then now I'm going in with the Madam Glam Gel Top Coat. We're going to go ahead and apply that on all of the nails, and then we're going to go ahead and let this hand cure for 60 seconds, and we're going to do the same thing on the other hand. Alrighty, y'all, so here is the final look. They literally turned out flawlessly. That ombre is everything. That pink is so pretty, and that glitter is just amazing. So as always, I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at GetNail32, and I'll see you guys next time.